Jesus used this figure of speech with them, but they did not understand what he was saying to them. Sometimes you read about people in the Bible and you identify with them straight away. You think, yes, I can see exactly where they're coming from. They did not understand what he was saying to them. To some extent, that's inevitable. Jesus was using what John calls a figure of speech. It's a parable, really, though John doesn't quite call it that. And that sort of figure of speech doesn't mean just one thing. It's supposed to be remembered and sit in your mind and deliver meaning at the right time. One aspect of it will mean something to you one day, and another will mean something else, not inconsistent, but different, another day. The original hearers hadn't got to the stage where it meant anything at all, so Jesus had to add some explanation. In fact, he added more than one explanation, not inconsistent, but different. And he didn't wait for another day. It looks as if they got both, one straight after the other. The first one ends at verse 10, which is where today's gospel reading ends. The second one follows immediately at verse 11. But that doesn't appear in the lectionary until next year, so you'll have to wait till the 25th of April 2021 if you want a sermon on that. The trouble we have is that we've read John's Gospel all the way through lots of times, haven't we? And we know what's coming. And in our minds we jump ahead and say to ourselves, yes, this is telling us that Jesus is the Good Shepherd. Well, the parable does cover that, and it's in explanation number 2. But our reading today only has explanation number 1. So we'd better look at that. What he said takes us by surprise if we're expecting the Good Shepherd. He said, I am the gate for the sheep. In fact, he said it twice. And both times it's emphatic. It's not just, I'm the gate. It's, I am the gate. So whatever it means, it's an exclusive claim. Exclusive in 2 ways. It's Jesus and no one else who's the gate. That's one. And Jesus is the gate. There's no other. He didn't say, I'm one of the gates, but there are lots of other gates people can use which are just as good. No, he didn't say that. And he certainly didn't say, I'm the gate, but who needs a gate anyway? You can always jump over the fence. In fact, right at the beginning, he made it clear that entering the sheepfold, other than by the gate, is something that only bad people do. People who have no legitimate business in the sheepfold, thieves and bandits, people who do not have the sheep's interests at heart, but are only out for themselves, people who come only to steal and kill and destroy. And he said, all who came before me are thieves and bandits. Now you may wonder who he was referring to when he said, all who came before me. Was he talking about Moses and the prophets? That's very unlikely for 2 reasons. Firstly, a general theme in Jesus' teaching is that Moses and the prophets were pointing towards him, and that his contemporaries were at fault for not attending to what they said. So they weren't thieves and bandits, they were the good people. Secondly, he didn't say, all who came before me were thieves and bandits, but all who came before me are thieves and bandits. Those thieves and bandits are people who were still around. They were around in Jesus' day, trying to lead people astray, to build up their own power base, and to exploit them. And their successors are still with us. Jesus, on the other hand, is the gate for the sheep. He's on the side of the sheep. Jesus invites you to enter, to let him lead you. He's not forcing you or deceiving you. The gate is open. Joining the flock is the way to true freedom and security. Those who enter by Jesus, the gate, are free to come in and go out. They're not bound by the materialistic values of the world. They're not slaves to false worldly values. Jesus invites us in to join his flock. He offers true life, abundant life. There's no compulsion. But who would want to turn down an offer like that?